we're designed to be in this feeling state. We're supposed to be present with self constantly, all of it. We were supposed to be, raised in a culture that was doing that, and the indigenous peoples were much more inclined to this. And, we've just been carried away for many reasons outside of that system, of that flow. And so what happens when we're not using that bandwidth of energies that is the emotional body, when we're not using it the way that it was meant to be used, which is the feeling body, if we're not using it as a feeling body and sensing and perceiving all parts of self and embracing them and noticing when we start to withdraw, when we're, just a toddler, that we're in environments that teach us to not withdraw, but to just open your heart and lean right back into that and keep going. If we're not taught to do that, we shut down the system. We sort of regulate it down into a lower vibrational expression of itself. And so this feeling body in a lower vibrational expression of itself comes out as emotion. It's like a default system. So that if I'm not paying attention to the felt sense of truth as it's moving through me, and I shut it down, I'm going to have an emotional reaction. And if I gather enough of those emotional reactions, I'll eventually have an emotional outburst or breakdown. And in the midst of the emotional outburst or breakdown, I have a possibility of dropping back into that deep sense of feeling that will actually be the healer. And so by default, we end up having these emotional breakdowns or what have you that bring us into our heart, buckle us over, send us, to the bed or to something, to seeking some sort of reprieve. And by design, it's going to default and open us back up into our feeling self. We're just going to lay there and feel sorry for ourselves. Even if we're feeling sorry for ourselves, at least we're feeling instead of constantly shoving it under and, just in a modality of survivorship, moving past it and sweeping it under the rug. So what we're doing is saying, let's feel more. So when we learn to do that consciously and intentionally, there is an experience of deep joy. It's not that you don't have emotion, for goodness sakes. It's there. We're made of bliss. We're meant to be experiencing joy, right? And if we release those layers and drop into the true self, it's the healer, and it's joyful, and it is Ananda. It's this true essence. And in that healing state, skin issues, digestive issues, sinus issues, headaches, that's what it was for me, they disappear because we're dropping into the true self and allowing for that full expression to continue to do its thing out through the layers of all of the layers of our being, right out to the surface of our physiology. And so I think that feeling is one of the most potent things. It is the most potent thing, I would say, that we can do on a physical level to open the floodgates for this continuum, this quantum flow that is trying to happen through us as it is through everything, as it is through the trees and through, the fauna and flora on our beautiful planet. It's happening without interference. So it can be also that for us. So there's feelings and emotions, they belong to the same bandwidth. One is a higher use than the other of that bandwidth of energies. One is the ultimate use of it is to feel and sense and perceive these 11 billion bits of information, as well as our own unpacking of emotions that have been shoved down by misinterpretation of what we were supposed to be doing in those early years as we arrived.